Hello, 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 my beautiful people. How y'all doing out there? Before we get started with today's show, I want to say welcome to or welcome back to Sunshine on Wheels, the talk show, with our new segment called Let's Talk About It with co-host DJ and Kimberly. And before we get started, I would like to first say thank you to 100 Shades of Diversity, Dr. Barrington, and also GRTV for allowing us this opportunity to be on their platform. So, before we get started, DJ and Kim, how are you feeling?
We're great, thank you.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be back. Round two. Let's take it in.
Ding, 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 Bob and Weed, Bob and Weed.
Woo!
I think I'm not going to lie, you all. I think that this is going to be like maybe a two-parter, and we're just going to be scratching the surface of this because we have two great topics, and one topic which is that came from one of our family, our friends, our members of the clan, Thomas. And
hmm
he made a statement during one of our previous shows that asking, why do people abuse the system that don't need it? So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And I do believe that that's going to take up the entire show, but we shall see. And then the second topic we're going to talk about is don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with.
Yep.
So, DJ, oh, hello, Captain Jack. He's here in the building.
Yeah, let's go.
Round one.
One
Fight.
fight.
I love Captain Jack.
He is
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome. All right, so DJ, let's kick this off. Why do people abuse the system that others need the most? What do
Well,
you think?
there's several combinations in there. Shana, if you want to bring the comments up so we can see them too, we're in private chat right now. As far as the system itself, you have to be kind of careful because there's a lot of loopholes. Now, just because there's a loophole there doesn't mean it
Mhm.
works for you. The system was designed for everybody. And if those who don't need it take advantage of it, it if you have kids and you need food stamps, get it. If you have kids and you need Medicaid, go for it.
Hmm.
But don't just get it because it's there. I mean, I know that probably sounds like, well, if it's there, I should have a right. There has to be a need for it. There has to be because I realize power chairs and medical equipment are expensive.
Yep.
Um, and Shana, just to clarify, I was talking about on the right hand side there. We can't see the comments coming up as
Mhm.
they come in because we're in.
It says private
You've got it
chat.
on private chat right now. So just go over to your
Really?
yeah, middle section there that says comments, and we'll be able to. I don't know if I can do it. Hold on.
Yeah, because it
Oh, I
has
got it. I got it.
comments.
Yep. I
There we
got it.
go.
I
Four
got it for
comments
you.
per page.
All right, you can unhighlight Captain there now. We can see them, and as they come up, we'll get them.
Okay, cool.
Um, but I think a lot of it has to do with people want something for nothing, and I hate to say that, but
Mm.
our society and it has gotten so bad of why do I have to pay for anything? If the government system's there, I'm going to take advantage of it. They're not going to check anyway. I'm going to lie about it. I'm going to that doesn't make it right. And that hurts everybody in the system that needs the help. An average power chair is between 22 and 35,000 dollars, and that's just the amenities as far as recline, tilt. We're not talking about light kits. We're not talking about footrest. We're not talking about all of that. Medicaid doesn't even. I meant Medicare will not pay for. Medicaid sometimes will. sometimes if the chair package is included, which a lot of them are including it now, Medicaid will pay for it. Medicare is different. Medicare is 80-20. You have to pay, they pay 80%, you have to pay 20% out of pocket. My chair was $22,000, almost $21,000. I had to pay $2,200 out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I had to pay $2,700 out of pocket. That's a lot of moolah. And we don't have that. I mean, that's not an option for us. But again, you can't just pull the money off the tree. You got to get it from somewhere. So there are organizations out there that can help. But if everybody drains them out because they're there, you know, you're not going to have it later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from that point of view, which is true. I can agree with you. But I think I want to look at it as from a point of view of people who really don't need it, but since they figure they can get it, they're going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, and I'm not trying to be mean and nasty, but I don't see how can someone that sits and eat a lot of food to the point where they're not able to walk anymore, how is that right for you to receive something benefits where you sat there and became that way? Why is it that a person that was born with a disability has it harder than a person that decide they're going to eat their life away? Why is it hard for someone that maybe has their disability later on down the line, and then you're told by Social Security where you're trying to get benefits, you're told that this is because of the disease not having a medical diagnosis for it, this is not considered a disease, or this is not considered something that you would be receiving disability for. How does those two work? One can get it, but the one who really needs it the most can't.
Right. And I think society, again, the doctors have made so many conditions for people, eating disorders, you know, all of this, anxiety disorders, all that. You know, back in the 80s and 90s when we were growing up, there was very little bit about ADD, ADHD, all the DDDDs. It was get off your butt, go outside, get some of that energy back out, come in when the street lights came on, be home for dinner, do your homework, go to bed.
Exactly.
That's what it was. You don't sit down and keep straight. I'm going to beat your butt and you can go to bed and that's it. Now, I understand there are conditions and I understand there are disorders and I understand there are things that we don't know about, but everything cannot be a condition or disease. There's got to be some simplicity where somebody has enough self-discipline not to be eating all the time. Now, I understand there is a chronic part of that where stress can do it, where things that happen when life is tough can make it worse. But it's tough for everybody.
Exactly.
See, people with disabilities don't come with pre-made qualifications. Oh, he's already in the chair. He's going to get Medicaid anyway. No. You got to qualify for that joker. And
baby, let me tell you, you got to jump through hoops, crawl through mud, go through fire, run off a building just to get the bare minimum. And then they may look at you and say, oh, you don't look like you need these benefits. So I'm cutting you off. What is a look? What does a look have to do with it?
Since when did disability get a look? I hate that. You look like you just fine. So I guess you can see my inside too. You know how messed up my knees and ankles are? How much arthritis, bursitis, muritis, all the stuff I got?
Yep.
You can tell how my toes curl up underneath when I spasm? No, Jack. You better stop all that mess.
Thank you.
You don't need a psychiatrist. You're just faking it. Wow. Really? That's a great diagnosis. Yeah, I mean, come on now. And some of these quackhead doctors they got, they'll write a prescription for anything. You go to the doctor right now, I'm depressed. Prozac.
There you go. Now I do understand that, of course, here in America, the healthcare industry is like $1 billion industry. There is a pill for every single thing. There is something for every single thing, but yet there's no cure. Makes me wonder about that. Is it because since we have no cure, but let's keep getting money for it. Let's keep getting money for it. Instead of taking those monies and doing something right by, hey, let's help this person build a ramp in front of their home because we know their health insurance is not going to pay for it. Hey, let's help this person get a wheelchair and not have to pay a copay because they're just receiving disability. How about we just let them? But it is not done.
See, part of the problem, and I know Kim can chime in on this too, is you can't.
That is true. Very true.
Again, Jack nailing them out of the park. It literally makes me so angry to sit there and say, you look at everything on a money qualification type of thing. Our medical field does not cure you anymore. They prolong the symptoms so you live longer and pay more money.
Correct.
That is what our medical system is doing. They are not curing diseases. They are researching. They know how to cure cancer. They know how to cure AIDS. You want a classic example? Look at Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was one of the first people known to have AIDS as a celebrity. Guess who's still living, doing broadcasting right now? Hello, Magic. Because you know why? Magic had money. It's for
money
the people
talks and BS walks.
That's exactly right.
100%.
That's exactly right. I want to thank everybody coming into the show. And, again, we're on Let's Talk About It.
If you're the patient, then there's no money coming to the doctors and what?
Pharmaceutical companies. That's it right there.
Yes, that's true.
That's it right there. They won't put out a cure for cancer. They won't put out a cure for AIDS. They won't because they lose too much money on medical tests, durations, x-rays, diagnosis, doctor's appointments, and medication.
But what I don't understand, they would make so much. They would make money if they would just help a person get cured. I mean, hell, you paying taxes, aren't you? You're getting money that way. If you can care a person living with a disability that can get up and be able to go outside and work, wouldn't that make sense?
How can and see you're exactly right. You would rather have a person not work, be on disability. I can't deal with you, Captain. You funny. They would rather have you sit home, take medication. It's just like diabetes. There are cures for diabetes, from home remedies to lower blood sugar overnight. And these aren't just full-blown stuff. This is actually happening. And they're taking the videos down because medical companies don't want to lose money. And it's sad because money is more important than a person's health, and it makes it worse. And that's why people that take advantage of the system and get it when they don't need it and all this, and you got 12 kids by 15 different baby mamas and baby daddies, and you need $12,000 to support your kids, which I get, but the government can't do all that. You've got to do some yourself.
Yes.
And we talked about this last week. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but life is, you get out of it what you put into it. You've got to try to make an effort. You've got to try to do something with your life. If you don't, you're going to be a blob on a couch and die at 45 because you've done nothing.
Correct.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% there. But I guess we will never understand it. We will never get it. like I want to go back to what you said. Like you have these women, men, whoever that has all of these children, and they figure, I guess they turned that into a business. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let's have 18, let's have 20 children, and let's have the system pay for it. When
Mm-hmm.
do the system learn to cut it off? Why is it that you can still continue to have baby after baby after baby after baby? And look, you get housing for that. You get food for that. You get health insurance for that. You get things paid for. And it's all because you're sitting up there laying on your, you know what, and having all of these children. But it's like you're getting rewarded for bad behavior. Now, someone that really needs it won't get it.
And
Correct.
that's the name of it. And then when they cut it and shut it down, everybody suffers.
And it's all because those that didn't want to get out there that were able to do something, they decide that they're just going to sit back and eat off of the system. And now when the system starts to fight back, which makes it harder for not only those that are in the disability community, but those that are in the able community, like the senior citizens. What about those people that have limited income, but they depend on those food stamps because they can't make ends meet?
Okay. The
You know what I'm
average
saying?
Yep.
the average disability check here in Virginia is $1,400 to $2,000, depending on, talking about not SSDI, SSI for those who've worked. Okay, and I'm not trying. I make about just over $1,500 a month. Okay, now my rent by itself, our rent by itself is $1,375.
Make that make sense.
$1,375. So I'm supposed to live off of 1475. That's 100. I don't even make 1475. I barely make that. I literally, you're talking about electric, phone, food. You can't watch TV, can't have cable, can't have internet. All of that, and I gotta make that on less than $100 a month.
Oh, don't forget to add on all those things that you're mentioning. Sorry, but that's considered a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And car insurance, life insurance. Sorry, but I want to have something for my wife when I die. I mean, come on. Great.
You're not going nowhere no time soon.
Not no time soon. You're right, but I gotta have something to take care of somebody. And it's sad. It's sad because they go, you can live off this. No, you can't.
But
Nope.
they don't allow. You know, I'm thinking. You can't at all. And you know what I was thinking, DJ and Kim? Maybe in my mind, this is something that I'm just coming up with, and it would be perfect. I would think that if you were someone living with a disability, and say you can work, but you really need the medical insurance, why wouldn't you be able to work but still get the health part of it? Why can't we do that?
All right, let's.
That'd be cheating the government then.
Well, it's kind of a double. It's almost like a double dip, really, is what they're saying. But I got a scenario for you. So when I was working, okay, and I was able to get Medicaid while I was working, and they did not look at my income. I made $1,200 a month plus commission. I made almost $600 a month commission because I was top in sales. Okay. I was bringing home close to $3,400 a month. And they did not look at my income where I was able to keep my health insurance. When I stopped working and made less money, not even a third of what I was making, they started looking at my income and saying, now we're going to penalize you. Now you lose your Medicaid. Now you lose this because you're not you're not your income is too high.
What income? That's all I want to know. What income?
Exactly.
Let me know what income.
The state is the one that gives you the money and determines how much you get based on what you work. So the state saying my income is too high? Are you kidding me?
I mean, forgive us for having to eat. Forgive us for having to wash our clothes. Forgive us for having to have a roof over our heads. Forgive us for having to pay for electricity. Forgive us, forgive us, forgive us. But golly, enough is enough. People out here struggling. People are out here suffering. Those in the disability community can't get much of anything. But you can come with your disability of overeating, and now that's considered a disease and you can get paid for that. No, you need to get up and go get a job. Get a job. One person I heard say that sometimes people use disabilities for an excuse to not do.
Exactly.
That happens far too often. You see, you're in I's case. All right, let's take somebody like Captain, for example. And I don't think he would mind me sharing this. Man has got every arthritis you can have: arthritis, bursitis, cellulitis, and getting up, knees cracking and back cracking and feet swelling up and working from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening, working hard, sometimes longer than that. And the job he does is a hard job. When you're a caregiver, it's a hard job because it's a lifetime of caring for somebody, because it's not just bringing them food. It's not just getting them to their appointment. You're attached to this person because they're your responsibility, and it's hard. You have to care to be a caregiver. And some of these caregivers they got now, shoot.
DJ, that's a whole segment by itself. I can tell you right now, maybe we got to do a series on caregivers. Not all caregivers are like this, but let me tell you, I've had some in my day, and I don't even know what in the world they're here for. But that's another story for another time. Continue on.
The other thing I was going to say, and Kim and I were talking about this the other day, in your situation where your disability was brought on after having your daughter, and it clicked in. I mean, that way you didn't know anything about it. You were on the go, full throttle, bam, going, and boom, it hits you like a dodgeball straight in the gut that you weren't ready for. Go to work one day and can't get up off the ground. I said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, and this is not a debilitating disability? You want to tell me that cerebral palsy doesn't get worse as you're older?
It does.
Hello?
And it doesn't even matter if you're a walker or not, because I'm able-bodied for the most part, and it's, as I got older, I used to be on the road 24/7. Nothing would slow me down. Now that I'm 40 years old, every part of my body hurts in places I didn't even think was possible anymore. And now I can't walk far distance, and I actually have a chair as well. And yeah, people with cerebral palsy, a lot of us can walk, but a lot of us are in wheelchairs as well. And the looks I get when I decide to stand and take a few steps to stretch, when we're working and selling, our bracelets and stuff like that, people look at me like I'm crazy, and they're like, "Oh, you can walk. Why are you using a chair? Do you really know what's inside my body? No, you don't. Please respect that."
Right. See, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. The chronic pain that keeps you up at night, you can't measure that. The chronic pain to where when your muscle spasm and your legs lock and you can't move, you can't measure that.
Yep.
Medical equipment can't sit there and say, how much do they get for that? For overwhelming nights that you're hurting so bad you're crying. and you're taking your medicine that's you're prescribed, and it takes the edge off. But on a night that you're hurting, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Medication don't do SHIP. I'll tell you that right now. And that's one of the things.
That right.
And it makes me so hard, so sad to sit there and go, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you? I don't pop pills. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't smoke any. I don't drink. I don't do any of that crap. I don't need it. Don't want it. Thank you very much. Clean wife, a clean life, happy wife, clean life. Thank you very much. That's where it goes.
Clean wife.
And that's all I need. But sometimes, my foot hurts so bad when I take off my shoe. My wife has to help me straighten it because I'm 44 now, and it goes from cold to hot, the cold, the rain, the snow, the hot, and your body is freaking out. It's like Anne Hesh. I'm out. I'm in. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
The weathermen are spinning the wheel, going, I don't know what's gonna happen. They can't predict the weather anymore.
And they can't. I guess they can't predict who really needs assistance and who really don't at this point.
And again, as I said earlier in the show, we want to thank everybody for coming in. We're live talking on Sunshine on Wheels with Let's Talk About It. We want to thank GRTV 25 in Michigan for allowing us to be on the platform. Thank you guys for coming in and commenting. And we're talking about, why do people take advantage of the system? And don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with, which is a topic that we're getting ready to go to. But to kind of close up taking advantage of the system, here's what it's going to come down to, and you've got to be very careful. If people keep doing this, eventually it's all going to be gone, and nobody is going to have anything, and there's going to be millions of homeless people on the street.
It's headed that way.
And that's the way that it's heading. It's horrible. Gas prices in 2 weeks are going to reach $6 a gallon. $6 a gallon. That is crazy. But because people will pay for it, they're not going to drop it back down, because once you go up, they know what your threshold is.
They know they take up what they know you need the most: food, electricity, housing, all the things that is important to a person. They hike it up, which makes no sense at all. But I wouldn't say it's the world we live in, because it has nothing to do with the world. It's the people that's in the world. And I tell you, these are some very special people.
It is corporate greed. Gas prices should be around $1.50 a gallon, $2 a gallon. I mean, we're talking about corporate greed because companies have to make money. It's all about the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So that basically sums up, don't take advantage of the system, because pretty soon the system that we have in place is going to crash and it's going to be gone. Because the money...
Let's see how corporate can handle that.
Because the money has to come from somewhere. Sorry to cut you off there, sis.
No, you're good. You're good.
So what's our other topic? Don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with. Now, this one, Shana, you came up with, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one, because you asked me about it, but it sounded really interesting, and I just want to kind of get your 25 cents on this.
All right, let me just give you a couple of cents on this topic and why I chose this topic. Okay, one reason why I chose this topic, because I was air hustling. I air hustle from time to time. I'm a little nosy. And someone was sharing advice with the other person that was on the other end of the phone, and was telling them not to pay a full bill. Mind you, I'm on a mobility bus, and 9 times out of 10, this person income is limited. It may not be, too much. And then I heard them say, do not pay the bill in full, only pay half of it so you can have money left in your pocket. And the person said, well, what I'm going to do when the next bill come in, because I don't receive that much income. And I'm just sitting here and listening. And then after a while, I stopped ear hustling. Then I played back the conversation in my mind. And I said to myself, if your income is limited, and if you know that you can only pay this bill in full, and you know that you can't pay any late fees or anything like that, pay the bill in full. Don't pay half and have money left in your pocket. What sense does that make? And I'm saying to myself, I would not trade places with this person that's giving this information.
There's a couple of ways to look at this. And Captain, if you're still on here, maybe you can shed a little light with that gigantic pirate brain of yours, because I know you got some wisdom in there somewhere. It's behind the feather on your left ear, I'm pretty sure. Let me ask you this: if we as people are looking for advice from the wrong people, and it harms us to start with, where are we going as a society but down? The reason I say that is Shana's exactly right. When you pay a bill and you only pay half of it, and you make a payment arrangement, what they're calculating on the past due of the bill by itself. Once your bill is 30 days past due, and your cycle regenerates, the late fees apply, listen to this, to the total amount of that bill. And some of those late fees can process up to 25% of the entire balance. Okay, so not only that, you're paying a reconnection fee, a late fee, a service fee, all these other fees. You know that commercial you see on TV with the DoorDash and the delivery fee? You eat here often fee. We knocked on your door fee. Your house look pretty fee. You use our paper fee. All these fees and stuff starting adding up. And you are paying more in fees than your bill itself. So I believe Shana is right. If you have the means and you can pay the current standing balance, pay the current standing balance. And folks, personal experience, don't use credit cards.
Ha ha. Ding. Get it. Tell them why they shouldn't be using them, DJ.
Don't use it. The average credit card, 37.5% interest, 37.63.
Ooh.
The lower ones are 31. You might get one with 7 or 8 if it's through your bank, maybe. But them late fees, Jack, you go over your balance, folks. Just because look, if you have a $2,000 credit limit and you use 50% of your credit balance, your score is going to be impacted. Know about the credit cards you're using. Research them. Check with your bank. See what doesn't impact you with late fees and things that you buy that automatically renew without telling you. Because these fees add up. I've got 3 credit cards right now that are active. 2 of them are closed. And I'm paying on the closed ones to get them out of here. My score was down to a 400.
Oh no!
I've had to bring my credit back up. I'm at a 633 right now because I've had to work I was at an 806. When I bought my chair, there was a 24-month agreement that I had to pay it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't read about it. I just said, okay, no problem. No problem. That 24-month agreement hit, all the interest from them back payments went on the card. $724. Boom. Read the fine print, folks, because it will tear you a new one.
And I say it like this: do not take advice from someone that is in the same position as you. If you want to get advice from anyone, make sure it's advice from someone that you look up to, someone that can give you a knowledge, can give you advice to help you get ahead in life. Not from someone that's sitting down here beside you and they don't have two pennies to rub together and then going to tell you not to spend all your money on a bill. So I know they're struggling if they're telling me not to do this. So I know they are struggling. I'm telling you, this is the year where I refuse to take information from someone that is not doing better than me. I refuse to be a human trash can just collecting all their dirt, dust, and debris and not getting ahead in life. I refuse to allow myself to get that way. I'm looking at someone that's a homeowner. I'm looking for advice from a homeowner. I'm looking for advice from someone that has a financial portfolio. I'm looking for advice from someone that has financial literacy. I'm looking for advice from someone on how to be healthy and how to heal. That's what I'm looking for in life. I don't want you coming to me and you don't have $10 in your bank account. I don't want you coming to me when you can't even buy yourself a 99-cent lollipop. I do not want you coming to me if you don't even know where you're going to live at next month because you refuse to pay your rent in full. I don't want to be around people that cannot help me elevate and get to the next level. And I want to be able to do the same for that next person. I'm not going to give you advice on how to be a man. I don't know how to be a man, but I can give a woman advice on how to be a mother because that's what I've done. And that's what I've done so well and take great pride in that. So I can give you advice on things and hope that you take it. But my thing is, don't give me advice if you know you ain't doing it yourself.
The only thing I want advice in is something you're succeeding in. I don't want advice in something that you're struggling with, having trouble with, walking on the railroad tracks trying to find a stick to kill a bird. I don't need you to hunt for me. No, I got that. I will take financial advice from a couple of men. There's a young man that's out there on the internet right now, and he's got a system. His name is David Ramsey, and he is one of the smartest people. He came up with the envelope system. And I was at church, and I saw a series on David Ramsey, and I also saw a series on John Bevere and a couple others that had some great money techniques. Now, I'm not going to offer too much here, but I do want to touch on this. If you start when you're very young and you are in your, I'm going to say your teens from 18, from 15 on, if you get a summer job at 16 years of age, and I believe it's 16 and 8 months now that you can work in Virginia, 16 and a half, something like that. When you take your check, the first check that you get, take a portion of that check and put it in the envelope and don't touch it. I don't mean put it somewhere where you know where it is. Put it somewhere and forget about it. And each month, continue to do that. Every check that you get, take a portion of that check and save money. Because if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, you have to have a lot and a place to put that car on. If you don't have a place to put it, you can't buy it. Steve Harvey said that. Look him up. That man knows knowledge. He knows about planning. He started from the bottom. He's been homeless. He's had nothing. He's been homeless twice, lived in his car for 3 years. That that man has been through it. I follow him and I listen to his advice because he's a motivator, a public speaker, a man that knows what to do. David Ramsey is the same way. Take your money and save it. Don't spend it just because you can. Yep. I had to learn this the hard way, taking advice from people and not listening and being stubborn. There's a twofold sword here. When someone gives you advice and you don't take it, my brother gave me advice, told me what to do, and I didn't do it. That was my fault when I was in my 20s. I was stupid. I made stupid financial decisions because I thought I knew what I was talking about. I hurt myself twice. Been down at the bottom. Never been homeless, thank God. Never been homeless. Always had food on the table and always had a mom who cared about me and was there for me. Paid mom back. Didn't take me 20 years. When I borrow money from somebody, I pay them back. When I take money from somebody, I pay them back. That is honor. When you have a debt, you pay it. Honor. And you can ask my buddy Steve. Every cent from him, I paid back. Every single cent, I pay back. And I try very hard to pay back because people need that money. And if you don't take advantage of them, they'll be there to help you out the next time. Shana's the same way. Shana will give you the shirt off her back, but don't take advantage of it because she'll leave you right in the dirt. You will. And you have to, because it's these leeches that come out and say, oh, let me get a few dollars. I'll get paid next week. No, you don't. No, you don't, because all you're going to do is blow your money on whiskey, weed, and women and everything else, and then you ain't going to pay nobody nothing. And don't tell me you're going to be any different because you know how you're going to be. You know how you're going to set your mind. You know what you're going to set your mind to. My wife will do anything I ask because she trusts me. But she doesn't just trust me with her. She trusts me with the finances. Every month I budget. I have to. Because when you become married, you have to budget as a man and as a couple. It's no longer you. It's us. It's us. And that's another thing that hurts disabled people. When they get married and their income combines, even if they have separate bank accounts, disability and social services look at that and they penalize them for getting married. They penalize them for getting married.
You know what, DJ? I got to say something here. Is it me, or is it that the system don't want you to be happy? They want you to, one, depend on them, and two, always struggle.
Right. The system doesn't want you to succeed. It has nothing to do with happiness. The system could care less about happiness. The system doesn't want you to succeed. It wants you to stay under its thumb so it has control of you, and you have to depend on it.
Good. Now, I wanted to go back a little bit when you said Dave Ramsey and being young, and saving from being young. Now, my cousin Karina, what I love about her, she's my daughter's godmother. And what I love about her is that instead of buying my children toys and gifts for Christmas, she was giving them Dave Ramsey books to read for children. She was giving them she gave them like a Dave Ramsey game board, a game board that we all played together. And I can honestly say that what she did for my children has broken generational curses, because my son and daughter now at the age of 19 and 20, they have more money saved up than an average adult. Granted, my children were working at the age of 15 and a half. You got that one right. You're going to work around here. You got to pay your part. If you want a cell phone, you got to pay for it. If you want nice things, you're going to have to pay for it.
I love that.
Therefore, you have to work. And when my cousin Karina instilled in my children about Dave Ramsey, it made me look back and think, I wish I would have started before this. But to watch my children and to see what they have saved taught me how. Now I'm taking advice from them. That's who I'm taking advice from, my children. Well, what you think I should do with this? How should I do that? I'm taking advice from them because obviously they got it down packed now. And it's true. You have to start while you're young. So I'm taking advice from them at this point now. That's who I'm following, y'all. Them.
The amazing thing is when you talked about Karina, I remember when you first told me about her doing the Dave Ramsey board and the Dave Ramsey book. When you plant the seed of success in a young mind at a young age, it does something for them, about them, to make them succeed as an adult. Now, what is happening is when you get good vibes and good impressions and good goals set at an early age, you have the outcome of taking the money that you earn and quadrupling it. And even more and more and more, make it better, make it bigger, make it faster, make it more, because you're doing the right thing at the right time, and you're saving while you're young. You're making it happen while you're young. If you don't do that, if you wait too long, I waited too long. You can still do it, and it's harder, but I waited too long. I should have saved, because you're right. If you want to pull your weight around here, you're going to work. If you want those $900 shoes, you're going to pay for those $900 shoes. To realize how many hours it takes to earn money to get those $900 shoes. And when you get that bank check and you go, well, daggone, they took $400 out in taxes. Holy moly. I don't want no $900 shoes. Give me the Payless shoes over there for $29.99. You're going to realize real quick when you save $900 and you go, hey, I can get myself a used car with this. It's only got 2,000 miles on it. I don't need a new Mercedes-Benz. Make good financial decisions. Take good financial advice. Don't go to somebody on the street with change in the cup learning how to save. Go to somebody who has.
Mm-hmm.
Go to somebody who knows what they are doing. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, I would say that, as my son and daughter would say, cash is king. If you don't have enough money in your bank account to put it back, don't spend it. If you get something that's $1,000 and you don't have $1,000 to put back, you don't buy it. Let me tell you something. I purchased an SUV for when my son started driving. And the thing was, well, this is your car, but you have to pay your car insurance and you have to pay the upkeep on your car. Mm-hmm. I got you the car, you got to take it from there. Same thing with my daughter. I get you the car, you got to take it from there. And one thing that I learned from my daughter, the best advice she can give me, learn to say no. Learn to say no. Stop trying to break yourself to help somebody that not going to help you if you need it the most. My daughter at the age of 15 taught me how to say no.
And that is valuable. That's probably the most valuable piece of advice a mother can learn, because these kids nowadays, mama, give me, mama, I want, I need. First of all, learn the difference between a want and a need. You got clothes on your back, food in your belly, and a roof over your head. That's all you need. I want Applejack cereal. Do you see this name brand right here? Do you see this name brand right here? This is $5 a box. Go over here to this bag cereal right here where it says apple dumplings, and look at the savings that you're going to save right there for $3.69 versus $6 and something a box. You better learn quick.
Hello. Yes, absolutely.
People want name brand everything. I'll give you an example. We went to CVS right now. We were going to buy Eucerin, the eczema cream. Eucerin is $26 a bottle for 7.5 ounces. I'm sorry, 12 and a half ounces. We looked at the ingredients on the Eucerin bottle, went with the CVS off brand, and the CVS off brand had the same percentage of that number one ingredient that Eucerin has, and the difference was $11.66.
Well, I've always learned, DJ, that the only thing that's different is that these companies are slapping their labels on things. It's all the same. They're just slapping their labels on it.
It's brand. That's all it is.
It's all. That's it, and that's all. So that's another thing. I'm not taking advice from someone that got a closet full of clothes, nowhere to go, and ain't even got money to put in your gas tank. Don't give me no advice. I don't want nothing from you. Because you can dress. You got the minks, you got the leather coats, the crocodile, the Coach, the Herman's bags, Birkins. You got all of that, but you can't find $10 to put in your car. What sense does that make? I don't want to learn how to dress. I want to learn how to keep my money in a savings account where it's going to grow, learn to invest. I don't want it to be sitting in a closet collecting dust. Make that make sense.
Let me ask you a question while we close out. Talking about style, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the Gucci bag and the Jordache jeans, and you got the this kind of hat and these kind of shoes. What's style gonna do for you if you ain't got a roof over your head and food in your belly? What's style gonna do for you then? You gonna look good while you fade away? You better think, folks. You gotta make financial decisions. You got to put your needs ahead of your wants. You got to pay the bills first. I am so glad that my school and my mother taught me how to budget. I roughly now, with my wife, can squeeze between $125 and $150 a month to save, and that's hard. Not counting food, okay? Food is different. You got to have food too. Now the food stamps are gone. That 125, whoop, wiped out.
Yes.
Because that goes toward food now. It's very difficult to save when you're on disability. Very difficult.
Wow. That's all. Go ahead, bro.
What are we going to do next week, Shannon? What do you think? What are we going to talk about next week?
That's a good question. I'm thinking about next week, we can talk about caregivers, the good and the bad. The good versus the bad. Caregivers, the good versus the bad.
I think we should do an episode on how foster parents, they take advantage of their foster child, especially if they have a disability, and like to claim them as their own when they're using the system just to get the check from their child and being an adult.
Okay, that's where my wife just took the ball and hit the ball out of the park. Y'all see that?
Because they've done it to me. And until I moved here with my husband, which is 4 years ago, going on 5 years.
Yep.
They took advantage of me, and I didn't know any other way because they told me I live under their roof. They get my check. Kind of find out it wasn't that way.
I think we're going to talk about that. And you know what, Kim? That's what we're talking about next week. And to add on, let's talk about those caregivers, family members, and friends who only get those clients to take the money from them, but don't provide the care that they really supposed to get. So it's just like a money grab. Money. You'll sit me in a corner with a pissy diaper or pee-pee diaper on, but you'll go and collect my check and won't clean my butt.
Oh, it's on next week, y'all. Y'all put your boxing gloves and helmet on next week because we hitting it next week.
Oh,
Captain Jack said, it's on. You right.
Damn right, Captain Jack.
It's on like popcorn. Now we are at what we got now? It's 5:12. We almost on our way out of here. Is there any last remarks you would like to make, you guys, DJ and Kim, before I close us out?
You know, I don't want to sit here and say bad things about the system entirely because it's the only system we have. But to make it better, we have to stop taking advantage of it. People have to stop taking advantage of it when you have the capability to work. Okay, if you have the capability to work, don't let someone tell you you can't work because you can't do this, this, and this. Go out there and try. Put out resumes. Go out and read about being an author. Read about writing a book. Read about you want to write about it. You want to talk about it. Go talk to your Congress. Go talk to your senator. Let them know what's going on in your area. If we're not aware of the problem, we can't fix it. If you want to be part of the solution, get on VR, start a petition, talk to people, get people to sign it. Go for the goal of what you want to do. Don't sit there because you have a disability and think you're too weak, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, because people tell you you're going to be nothing. People will talk down to you your whole life because you have a disability and tell you what you will never be. I took that and I showed them. My mother and family lifted me up. Most of my family lifted me up. For the ones that put me down, I stepped on top of their heads and popped them into the ground. And that's what you got to do.
Yep.
You've got to be the one to fight for yourself. You have to learn to be your own advocate. You got to stop depending on people to do stuff for you. Learn to fight for yourself and learn that if you get hit in the mouth, learn how to move your head the heck out of the way and punch back. You've got to learn to counter. We were talking about it, bob and weave earlier when we came on the show. That's not just that's not just a way to move. That's a way of life, because life is like this. Life is up and down and up and down. A roller coaster. It don't stay the same. So I'll tell you this: if you want something, don't sit on your butt and think it's going to be handed to you because you got a disability, because people are going to feel sorry for you. People stopped feeling sorry for us a long time ago. I don't care what skin color you got. I don't care what disability you got, whether it's Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, Lou Gehrig's disease. There are foundations out there. Research. Find out. Talk to people. Get the help you need and fight for your right to live and succeed and be the person you want to be. Stay tuned next week for Let's Talk About It. The parents and people that take advantage of their kids through adoption, and the people that take advantage through caregiving. Round 2 is going to be a dinger. Come get it next week on Let's Talk About It. We want to thank GRTV 25 in Michigan. We want to thank all of our viewers tonight for tuning in on our platform on Facebook. We want to thank Shana, Miss Sunshineonwheelz herself, my co-host, my wife, all of our viewers. Captain Jack, bring the magic. Come on back with us and pirate yourself right on in here again next week. 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're probably going to start about 1 because we found that doing it a little earlier is a little easier for us. So tune in next Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time for Let's Talk About It with Sunshineonwheelz, ShanaThomas, and D to the J with the roll away, and bim, bada, bim, 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 Miss Kim. Go with it. We love y'all. We out.
Peace.
All right, y'all. I want to say again, thank you all very much. And before I hit the end on this, I would like to thank 100 Shades of Diversity, that platform, as well as GRTV 25 and Dr. Barrington for allowing us to be a part of this journey and for allowing us to use your platform. So I see you all next week. We'll be back with another one. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.